There are some unspoken rules at weddings. Don't propose. Don't announce your pregnancy. And for the love of God, don't wear white. But today's Reddit story features a mother-in-law who decided that rules don't apply to her. She showed up to her son's wedding in a full-on white gown with a veil. And when the bride called her out, the entire family lost their minds. This is absolutely wild. Let's get into it. So this story was posted on r/Emma the Asshole by a 27-year-old woman who just got married to her husband after dating for 4 years. Let's call her OP original poster. OP and her husband had a beautiful outdoor wedding planned. Nothing too extravagant, but they spent months picking out every detail: the flowers, the music, the food. And of course, OP spent months finding the perfect wedding dress. It was a stunning ivory lace gown, simple but elegant, exactly what she'd always dreamed of. Now OP's relationship with her mother-in-law, let's call her Karen because, well, you'll see why, had always been complicated. Karen was one of those moms who had a hard time letting go of her son. She'd make comments like, "You're taking my baby away from me," and "I hope you're good enough for him." You know the type. Leading up to the wedding, Karen asked OP multiple times what she was wearing. He thought it was sweet at first, like, "Oh, she wants to coordinate colors so we don't clash." She told Karen, "I'm wearing ivory. The bridesmaids are in blush pink. What color are you thinking?" Karen just smiled and said, "Don't worry, I'll look great." Red flag number 1. Fast forward to the wedding day. Everything was perfect. The flowers were gorgeous, the sun was shining, OP was getting ready, feeling like the most beautiful woman in the world. Then came the moment OP walked down the aisle. She saw her husband waiting for her at the altar, tears in his eyes. It was everything she dreamed of. But then her eyes wandered to the front row, and her heart stopped. There sat her mother-in-law, Karen, wearing a full-on white wedding gown. We're not talking about a cream dress or an off-white pantsuit. This was a long, lacy white dress with a train. And to top it off, she was wearing a veil. OP froze mid-walk. Her husband noticed her expression and turned to look. His face went pale. The whole ceremony almost came to a halt. OP somehow managed to keep walking, but she was shaking. She could hear guests whispering. Someone behind her muttered, "Is that the mother of the groom or the bride?" The ceremony continued, but OP barely remembers any of it. All she could think about was that white dress staring at her from the front row. After the ceremony, during the reception, OP pulled herself together enough to enjoy her wedding, until she saw Karen dancing with her son, twirling around in that white dress like she was the bride. That's when OP snapped. She walked over to Karen and said, calmly but firmly, "I need to talk to you. Now." They stepped aside and OP asked, "Why would you wear a white wedding dress to my wedding? With a veil?" Karen laughed. Like, actually laughed. She said, "Oh honey, this isn't a wedding dress. It's just a nice gown I found. I wanted to look special for my baby's big day. Don't be so insecure." OP couldn't believe it. Insecure? You're wearing white to my wedding. You knew exactly what you were doing. Karen's smile dropped. She crossed her arms and said, "You can't tell me what to wear. I'm the mother of the groom. I have every right to look beautiful at my son's wedding." OP had had enough. She said, "Either you change into something else or you leave. Those are your options." Karen stormed off to find her son, OP's new husband. Within minutes, OP's husband came over looking stressed. "My mom is crying in the bathroom. She says you threatened to kick her out." OP explained what happened. Her husband sighed. Babe, I know it's not ideal, but it's already done. Can't we just let it go? It's our wedding day. But before OP could respond, Karen's sisters, OP's new aunts-in-law, descended upon her. One said, "You're really going to ruin this day over a dress?" Karen spent $500 on that gown. She wanted to feel beautiful for her son's wedding. Another chimed in, "You're being so dramatic. Nobody even noticed. You're the bride, everyone's looking at you anyway." OP's own mother tried to defend her, but she was outnumbered. The groom's family was in full force, making OP feel like she was the bad guy for daring to speak up. Then Karen emerged from the bathroom, eyes red from crying, and announced loudly enough for nearby guests to hear, "I guess I'm not welcome at my own son's wedding. I'll just go home." A few guests actually glared at OP like she was the monster who kicked out a poor innocent mother. OP came to Reddit that night, still in shock from the whole ordeal. She asked, "Am I the asshole for calling out my ML for wearing white to my wedding?" Reddit went OFF. The votes came in fast. NTA not the asshole. 98% YT you're the asshole. 1% ESH everyone sucks here. 1% the top comment with over 100,000 upvotes said, NTA. Wearing white to someone else's wedding is a deliberate act of aggression. The veil? That's a declaration of war. Your MIL knew exactly what she was doing and she's playing the victim now to manipulate everyone. Another comment that went viral. The fact that she asked what you were wearing then showed up in white with a veil. That's not a mistake. That's a power move. She wanted to see if she could upstage you on your own wedding day. You were right to call her out. And this one summed it up perfectly. Your husband needs to grow a spine and defend you. His mom didn't just disrespect you. She disrespected your marriage. If he can't see that, you've got a bigger problem than a white dress. A week later, OP posted an update that nobody expected. She wrote, "So, I found out why my MIL really wore white to the wedding. And it's worse than I thought." Pause for effect. My husband has an ex-girlfriend from college. They dated for 2 years before he met me. Apparently Mill loved this ex. Was obsessed with her. They still keep in touch on Facebook. ML comments on all her photos, the whole creepy thing. Well, after the wedding, my husband got a text from his ex. She sent him a screenshot of a conversation with ML from 2 weeks before our wedding. OP continued. In the text, ML asked the ex what she would wear if she were marrying my husband. The ex joked, "Probably white." And ML replied, "Great minds think alike, winky face." The room goes silent. She didn't just wear white by accident. She wore it because she wished her son was marrying someone else. She wanted to make a statement. And the veil? That was just the cherry on top. OP ended with, "My husband is devastated. He confronted his mom. And she broke down crying and admitted she just wanted to feel close to him on his wedding day. He's gone low contact with her for now. I don't know if I can ever look at her again." She added. The ex, by the way, was mortified. She apologized profusely and said she had no idea Mel would actually do it. She's engaged now and said she'd be terrified to have Mel at her own wedding. So here's the question for you. After finding out that her Mel wore white because she wished her son was marrying someone else, was OP too harsh? Should she forgive her Mel eventually? Or is this something that can never be undone? What about the husband? Should he have stood up for his wife more in the moment? And here's the real question. How would you handle a mother-in-law who clearly doesn't want you in the family? Drop a comment below and let me know your thoughts. Have you ever had a MIL from hell? Or witnessed wedding drama like this? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss the next story. We've got more drama coming your way. And trust me, it gets even crazier. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.